Hello, everyone. It is Saturday, February 17th. Yeah, at around 10:30 p.m. Wednesday, I said I was going to do a video on the committee for the Public Works, but guess what I found out? There was no committee meeting for the Board of Public Works. And I thought that was really interesting because when I checked to see the video, it showed right there, February 14th, my birthday. And there was supposed to be a meeting, but then when you check it out, guess what I find? That's not the city council meeting. That's the Board of Public Works. And I don't know who's in charge of all this thing in this. I don't know if it's the city council or just the hog shit administration or what, but they need to get their crap together because that's annoying and it's kind of dumb. But hey, you know what? It is what it is. We'll move on. But I wanted to tell you something too. So I noticed, so here's the calendar for all the city county meetings, all the committee meetings that are happening for all of 2024. Of course, some are slated to change, but I've really never paid attention about this until now. I checked to see of which committee meetings have been canceled. Now there are 12 meetings altogether in a month for the city council. That's the full council and all the committee meetings. In January, you could see that half of them were canceled. And we talked about this at the beginning of the year, that even the ethics committee meeting, they haven't had one since 2019. Now I'm not exactly sure why, but they didn't. They don't. I'm not even sure why it's around. So far in February of 2024, they've already had 3 canceled. And I think it was Thursday or Friday, they already made it where the Rules and Public Policy meeting is canceled. Now, they never cancel public safety, and I don't think they've had a environmental and sustainability committee meeting since I don't know, June, May, something like that, last summer. So that one might be canceled, and a good chance community affairs might be canceled. Ethics will probably be canceled too. So you might have 7 out of 12 meetings canceled for the month. And everybody should be asking themselves, which I'm going to find out on Monday, if there's a meeting canceled, do those city council members still get paid? Because if they still get paid, that's bullshit. I don't think that should be happening at all. Like, have the meeting then. So, interesting thought. I figured all of you guys would be very excited to know all about that. Another thing that I noticed too, Keith Graves. I don't know if you guys can make this out or not, but Keith Graves is the chair of the education committee, which got me thinking is like, what what makes him the chair of the committee? Why should he be the chair of the committee? What experience does he have to be the chair of the education committee? Because I don't like Jessica McCormick, but she's a teacher and she's on the committee, but she's not the chair. So I'll have to look into that a little bit, but I thought you might find it interesting. I know some of you guys don't pay attention as much as I do, but these are the things that I want you to be informed on because I think it's worth knowing of how our government is run and these committee meetings are run and why are certain people in charge of those committee meetings. Like, why did Jared Evans becomes the Parks and Rec committee? What makes him that? I don't know. So, next thing I got a whole list of things. We'll make it quick though. Chief Bailey, Chief Chris Bailey is now the chief of IMPD, and I said this from the beginning when Randall Taylor said that he was resigning. Whoever is the next IMPD chief will most likely be worse than Randall Taylor. And why do I say that? Well, because things never get better. They always get worse when it comes to Demo- Democrat controlled government. And this is going to be another clear example, and I already have a clear cut reason why. He had an interview with Mere Indie. It is a newer publication. I called Mere Indie Star because everybody that worked for Indie Star is now working for Mere Indie, and it's just going to be a duplication of bullshit. So anyway, he talked to this guy from Mere Indie, and he said, the journalist asked him what he is going to do about traffic enforcement, and Chief Bailey said, "We're going to take a holistic approach," which I thought was very funny because it's right here. What does he say right there? Please do not block lanes to drop people off. Be patient and respectful. And of course, I had to put my 2 cents in there and say, how's that holistic traffic enforcement going, Chief? I had to. Because how's it going? If you don't enforce the rules, then anybody's going to be able to do whatever they want because there's not going to be a consequence. 1 plus 1 equals 2. That's it. Like, why can't you understand that? But, someone was hoping that I'm going to be wrong. And honestly, I kind of hope that I'm wrong. I'm usually not, though. Very rarely am I wrong. And if I am wrong, I will happily eat my words. Next thing up is we had a sixth congressional district straw poll for their Goober National governor race. You know who I didn't see on here? Brad Chambers. It was very real weird. It was very weird. Yeah, words help. The other weird part was Nikki Haley with 12 votes. I want to know who those Nikki Haley voters are. Who are those Nimrata Haley voters? Because I want to talk to those people. And I can't understand why Suzanne Crouch is leading the pack when she helped. She was Holcomb's lapdog when it came to closing down the state, closing down businesses, closing down racetracks, uh, basically forcing vaccine mandates, and she didn't do anything about it. She didn't say anything about it. And it's very annoying that no one has asked her about it. I've watched a lot of her interviews, and she sounds like Jared Taylor. And not one time has anybody asked her, is like, why should we trust you when you just did the bidding of Eric Holcomb? It didn't make any sense at all. And I saw Tonus over here, the great Tony Kinnet, one of my favorite people. Same thing here. He puts his 2 cents into it, but same thing. Crouch has figured out how to distance herself from Holcomb on the campaign trail. Okay, but why is nobody asking her these questions? It doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, really, none of these candidates. I don't like any of the candidates for governor. All of them have problems. Let's see. Braun has his problems with the police. Crouch, you already know of. Doden doesn't even know what the WEF is, from what I understand. Someone asked him about it, and he did not know what the World Economic Forum is, so he's automatically, get the hell out of here. You're compromised. Curly Hill, if you guys remember, he got a little bad trouble for groping some women allegedly, and then he was suspended. I think he was suspended. Double check that for me, but I'm pretty sure he had his law license suspended for it. And then Jamie Rittenhauer, I've only seen her one time, and um, she talked a lot. She spoke well. That's all I got on that. And then who was the other one? Brad Chambers, the guy who wants to steal water from one county and give it to another. My whole problem with Curtis Hill is I only have one real big problem with Curtis Hill. So, late or early last year, or whenever he announced that he's running for governor, he said he wanted to get rid of DEI out of Indiana, but he never talked about getting rid of the DEI in the GOP. And the GOP will constantly talk about how bad DEI is, but they'll never talk about getting rid of it in their own party. So bad, it's so bad actually, is that the DEI director of the Indiana GOP is very, very pro reparations. Now, can you, and for as much crap as the GOP talks about reparations, they have an infiltrator in their own home and they're not doing anything about it. Her name is Whitley Yates. I've brought her up before. Nobody will ask Curly Hill about Whitley Yates. I don't expect the other four to even know what's going on in the GOP. I mean, Suzanne Crouch should, but she probably won't say anything. But very surprising numbers. I don't get it. I mean, I'd like to see these people. I'd like to see their reasoning why they made these decisions, but that'll never happen ever. I mean, hardly ever are any of these things recorded. There's a town hall next month in Carmel, and I'm not going to go to it because it's going to be the same bullshit. I've gone to so many of these things and they're so damn annoying because nobody ever asks good questions. There are all these vanilla questions of what are you going to do about the economy and the usual teacher pay and education and some other crap. And I haven't seen anybody like have any oomph to it. I want to see a fighter. I want a killer, not literally. I want somebody that's just gonna kick down the door and be like, "This is what we're doing." I want them also, most importantly, I want them to shift the Overton window. I want them to talk about some of these scandalous topics. When we talk about DEI or Democrats wanting to show porn to children in schools, those are the things that I want to hear. I want to hear about the wild stuff. But maybe that's just me. Probably not. But moving on, the NBA All Star game is happening right meow. And of course, we have old Clown Brown, Jesse Brown, uh, wherever my mouse is at. There we go. So last week, he brought this up. Legal observers will encourage everyone to stand up and take a stand this Saturday at Lugar Plaza at 8 p.m. And of course, he already starting to have a disturbance. They've arrived. I was gonna go. I put it on my Twitter that I was gonna go, but then the roads were all crappy from yesterday's snow, and it's like 15 degrees out. And I thought that none of these commies would be out there. Boy, was I wrong. I don't think there's that many of them, but we got that. We got Jewish Voice for Peace talking about it. And then I also was listening to Broadcastify, and I got this.
Sure, I'll let ERG and traffic know about it. Right now, we're busy with the rally protest that's down at Lucas Oil Stadium. Once that gets done, I'm sure that they'll be available for dealing with any of that stuff.
Hopefully, you guys heard that. If you didn't, it was they needed some help downtown, and one of the cops was saying that it's like they're dealing with this protest right now, but once they're all fanned out, then they'll be glad to help. I'm sure somebody will help then. And so you already see an elected official, Jesse Brown, taking away resources that they need and having it for this Palestine rally. Earlier tonight, I think it was like an hour or two ago, SWAT got involved somewhere on the north side of Indy, and they probably needed more resources. And what are they doing? They're having to deal with this crap. I mean, this is what you voted for, Indy. This is 100% what you voted for. And it's only going to get worse too because right now that SB 52, whatever the dedicated bus line is, they're going to be having a hearing on it on Tuesday, and all the East Side Socialists, all the bug eaters and the bubble livers, yeah, they want to live in a bubble. They're going to be down there talking about how much they need a dedicated bus lane, and with all their BS, how much is going to be better for businesses. It's not. How it's going to be better for traffic control. It's not. And it's not going to get any worse. But we'll see what happens. I'll be keeping an update on that. I will be listening to it on Tuesday, and I will report back with my findings. And I'm sure there will be many. Next thing we're going to talk about is the campaign updates. I went to some training today and hopefully to get an endorsement. Most likely, I will not get the endorsement because if anybody who has ran for office understands is when you try and get an endorsement, they want 100% on whatever their policy is. So even if you're off a little bit, um, then they're not going to want to give you money. So one of the things was about the death penalty, and it's like if I wanted to be pro death penalty or not. And I am actually pro death penalty for pedophiles and child rapists, and I think that should be the the policy because those people are monsters and they should not be in society. It helps no one for them to be around. And I listen, this isn't some like niche thing either. I would hopefully all of you out there are thinking the same thing. These psychopath monsters should not be living amongst us. And you know what? If that makes me lose the election, then so be it. I have no problem dying on that hill. But speaking of elections, Sarah Shydale, who is the primary opponent to Justin Moed in May, the Democrats, her and a woman named Holly Payton, who are both running for state rep, were on the Turn Left podcast with Dana Black on Thursday. And I will tell you what, this is the first time ever that I have never listened to a podcast all the way through because I couldn't take it anymore. Like, I got a pretty high tolerance to listening to bullshit. I mean, I try not to listen to or watch CNN or even Fox News half the time, but this was the first time where I was just like, these people are actually delusional. Like they just don't get it, and I'm not exactly sure why. Shydale, who is from Bargersville, who is a trans woman, a biological male who is transitioning into a woman, who takes hormones, if I remember right, hormone blockers, is very much in favor of medicating people under the age of 18 for if they want to transition into if they're a male into a female and vice versa, which I think is crazy. Like I was like, we're okay. 18 is the adult, and you're saying they have the mental capacity to say it's okay for them to take hormone blockers or even do like top surgery or even bottom surgery, but it's not okay for them to agree to a tattoo or sign up for war. Kind of weird. Also, Shydale said that um, they will be advocating for more trans rights. And I'm trying to think to myself, hey, anybody out there, by the way, anybody out there who can tell me what they're not allowed to do, I would love to hear from you. Put it in the comment section or email me or message me on Twitter because I'm trying to figure out what rights they don't have. Because last I checked, there's a whole month dedicated to Pride. But going to Holly Payton, this one was probably more delusional than Shydale. She said in 2020 during the George Floyd riots, that's when she knew she had white privilege. And she was also talking about um, she wants to create laws so everyone has to treat everyone equally. Kind of like the Civil Rights Act. And I think this woman lives in a completely different delusional bubble. Because guess what? There has never been a point, never will be a point in time where we all treat each other equally. Like, listen, do you think I'm going to treat someone who smells or has literal poop on their body differently than someone who's kept up well and smells good and doesn't look like they just woke up from the gutter? Because I treat those two people very differently. And I'm not even going to hide it. And listen, you out there in YouTube land, you do the same thing. And don't tell me that you don't. We both know you do. And there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, listen. Different strokes for different folks. Someone wants to run poo poo or pee pee all over their body. I'm going to treat them a little bit differently. That smells like a bed full of roses. Hey, hate to break it to you, but that's just how the world works. So, but let's go back to one more thing. Where is it at? There we go. We got ourselves a meeting on Tuesday, allegedly. Wait, no, we don't. On Wednesday. So I probably won't have a video out until next Thursday, unless something else happens. If you want me to, do me a favor while you're out there. If you would, all my friends, all my everybody that knows me, everybody that I love out there, do me a favor and tell me what you're looking for. Do you like this format? Because I kind of like doing these Whitty and reviews, weekly things, just like a quick update. I don't mind it. And then if I do like a quick couple minute tangent on somebody like Chief Bailey or the dedicated bus lane and just giving you guys an update of what's going on. Because I don't have a problem doing that either. I mean, it's probably better than having to look at my mug for an hour and make jokes about everybody on the city council. I mean, I do like that, but that's does take a little while, and I'm sure none of you want to be on there for an hour and a half. So if you like that, just let me know because I'll keep doing it. I mean, I might keep doing it anyway because I will do my best to keep making videos on the updates of Indiana and Indianapolis. So until next time.